Alright, so today I'm going to be showing you the art of making templates in Inkscape. First I'm going to go through and show you how you can do it from scratch, and then I'm going to show you, how you can do it the preferred way, just because it saves you a little time. So first thing you're going to do is move around in Inkscape. You can do this by pressing down on the mouse wheel and then dragging. So that's kind of your basic movement, and the other basic movement is zooming in and out. Go over to the left, select that magnifying tool, left click to zoom in, right click to zoom out, and of course the selector tool. So first thing you notice is we don't know what size this random sheet of paper is in Inkscape. To determine that, go to document properties, and it's going to tell you, what size it is. The scale is 1, units are 1. You're going to change the display units to pixels, and that'll change the scale, but you want the scale to be 1, so you can just change it right back to 1. And then the width and height, you can make anything, whatever is appropriate for your project. I'm just going to be using the measurements we took for our, 6 tag template. First one is 175, I think. 177 actually. And the second one is 135. So we'll put those down, and it'll change the document size, and that's all we need to do here. So you close that, look at your new document. You can also move in by pressing down on the mouse wheel and scrolling it. Anyways, this is our document. It's the size that we specified, and the next thing we're going to do is throw some text in there. So change your selection option to your text editing tool and just drag out a box. I'm going to be making a template of 6 of really simple big letters, so I'm just going to make the first one 10, and drag out the second one. You change the font size up there, and the top, I'm just going to do 10, 20, 30, 40. I'm going to speed this up a little bit so it's not such a drag. And, just making sure I drag out these boxes. And something you'll notice is that I'm not really sure if any of these are center as I'm dragging them out. And I'm going to center them later, but even still, it's going to be hard for me to get a perfectly centered option. So doing my last one right now, throw it in there, and I'm just going to show you how to change the font now. To make sure you're in the text editor, and you can just scroll over these. They have hundreds of fonts. Just press apply. I'm going to change a few here. Of course, some fonts are more notable than others. You could get something really useful like Arial in here, or Ping Fang. They're all different. So now that I've changed my fonts and I have the numbers down, I'm gonna attempt to center these, making sure I am dragging the text box and not using the selector tool to drag them around. So I just drag the text box around, and just dragging it around, making sure I get them all where I think I want them. And I'm going to have this last one centered, and then I'll show you what to do next. So now that I'm satisfied with where they are on the page, I'm going to need to throw in some extensions. So go to extensions, and G-Code tools. First thing you're going to put in is your tools library. Just as it comes, apply that. Just press OK if that comes up. I don't think that'll really matter. Yep, it did not. And you can get this big green, page. Just drag that to the side. You don't really need to look at it. It's just there because it has to be when you do the engraving. And you got your orientation points, which will show up on the bottom there. So you need to have those two things before you engrave something. And then the next step would be to convert all these text objects to paths. You can just select all of them like that. Which is just holding shift and dragging out. Object to path, dynamic offset, engraving, go to preferences. We've done this before. I'm not going to go through it slowly. You can check some of the other videos if you want to get like a fleshed out approach. But then you close it, and if I zoom in here, you're going to see the actual lines of the engraving, and that's just so you know that I've done it. And from here you could, in theory, take this document that's an NGC file into Parallels and Candle and actually engrave it there. But the problem you would come across is you don't know if these things are centered or not. They just kind of look centered now. So my solution to that is to start with a template that's already centered. So I'm going to open up temp. It's kind of my most basic template, and it already has the tools library and the orientation points, so you don't need to mess with that. Go to the text box editor, and you can just make new text box right over the already centered templates. So I'm gonna do the same numbers as I did last time, but I'm gonna adjust the box so that it's looks like it's more or less in the middle of the template that I already have down. You know, the little tag that's already down. So I'm just gonna throw these up here and center, you know, all 6. And I'll speed this up a little bit. You can see there I have a little issue. It's like snapping. If you wanted to get it to stop snapping, you can hold the shift button, and then it'll stop snapping to the edge of the box, which I find useful. So I'm just dragging them out and changing the font size, making sure they're more or less in the center. Okay, I'm going to hold shift, and I don't snap anymore. And so yeah, I'm going to do that with all of these. Getting my 7s and 5s confused up there, but now that we got them all down and we're satisfied with where they are in the center, we just need to now delete the tag templates that are underneath. So just select each one with the selector tool, of course, and delete it. And you know, there you are. And now you can be pretty confident that the text you have now is centered. So now we're going to save the template, you know, just wherever you want to save it. And make sure you save it here in this part of the process before we turn them into a path. So now, per se, I open my template and I can edit it to whatever I want. And then, you know, just as we did every other time, we're gonna select everything, go to path. I'm not gonna actually do this because I've done this, you know, like 3 times, so you should know what's up. But, you know, just engraving, you know, you apply, and that's basically how you do that. So yeah, hope this helped, and good luck.